We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
Well, progress. Remember the Wheel of Progress? That's not the Wheel of Progress. It was called the Now is the time. Now is the best time. What is that called? Wheel of
Song.
Progress?
I don't know what the hell that
At
is.
Disney World. Now is the best
Oh,
time
the
of
it's a
your
small world.
live every moment. I don't know. What the hell is
I don't know
that?
what you're talking
No,
about.
it's not Small World. That's It's a Small
Well,
World.
that one I know, but you're singing a song that's
The Wheel of
catchy.
Carousel of Progress.
Oh, that thing where,
The people keep getting different ages and hey,
yeah,
woo, woo, woo.
yeah, fun show. Because you think you're moving, but it's actually the stage that moves.
No, 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 no. It is the carousel.
Is it?
I saw a guy get beheaded one time.
Get out of here.
No, it is
Wow.
I didn't see that.
Did you have a video camera? I mean,
The
you could have captured.
stage stays there and the carousel moves around.
Oh man, I had it
That's why they
backwards.
call it the carousel of progress.
Yeah, it makes me. Well, I thought it was just the fool. But
Now
anyhow,
is the time.
that's why train wheels are slightly conical.
Conical.
Yep,
I got you conical.
that's why they're not flat like everybody thinks. They're slightly conical.
Well, yeah, because what you said about staying on the rails. I mean, let's keep it on
Right.
the rails, right?
Mm-hmm. That's important stuff.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Clean that up.
Yeah, let's ready to wrap it up then.
That's why when I used to put the nickels down on my date night over in Winter Park, the one side of the coin was flattened out more so than the other one was. Ever tell that story about my date nights?
I guess not. And if you did, I tell me again because it's new.
So I had this game that I was a young buck on the dating scene, and Winter Park, Park Avenue, if you're familiar with it,
Yeah.
back in the 80s was late 70s and 80s was quite the scene, very much a walking to do Friday night. They had this,
I went there once or twice early in my college career.
yeah, they had an ice cream shop called
Mhm.
East India. It's funny how I remember these things. And they have an Amtrak station that comes right
Mhm.
through the park.
Right.
And so didn't have the internet back then, but somehow I got the train schedule and I knew the train schedule on Friday night. I guess I would, in my desperation, show up.
I mean, it's pretty public knowledge. It wasn't like it was
Well, but I had
secret.
it down to the hey, there's a train coming in a couple
Oh,
minutes. So I would be with my lady friend, and we would have taken a walk northbound up Park Avenue to check out the windows in the shops and get to a point where you cross over the street and you walk southbound. I can't remember if I had ice cream first or not. It doesn't matter. But
right.
we would get to the park where the train station was adjacent, and I would look at my watch and go, "Hey, you know what? I think there's a train coming in a couple minutes. Let's follow me. Come with me." And she'd be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And so we would make our way over to the track, and I would fumble in my pockets like looking for change, but I had change because it was
Right.
planted there the week before.
A week.
And
Oh, wow, a week before.
I
Wow,
laid all my clothing out. Yeah,
you really prepared for your
this
dates.
sounds like a real criminal in the future.
It does.
Yeah, yeah. And then I would hit him
I
in
had
the
a
head.
car over on the other side ready to go in case I
Put
needed
that
it.
knot on the head. Anyway, so I would get a couple of pennies or nickels out of my pocket and I go, "Hey, I got this crazy idea. What are you doing, Dave?" And so I would put the coins on the track and I said, "What if the train comes in, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. The train's gonna run over these
Yeah.
coins." Oh, that's absolutely crazy. You're gonna derail the train, Dave.
What?
And so I said, everyone loves, watching
Yeah.
sounds Fellini, watching a train. And so the train would come in, of course, and then it would leave. And you had to get that one train that was not going to stop when people getting on and off. And so, sure enough, we didn't have cell phones for flashlights back then, but I had to keep an eye on it. And I would go find the coins. And so I'd get the two coins out of the dirt. And I would say, "Hey, how about we do this? Let's let this be a commemorative keepsake of our
Hmm.
night out. This one's for you, and I'm going to keep this one so I can remember tonight." And usually that was the move for the kiss. That was the move in at that moment.
Oh, I
And
see. That was a lot of work, Dave. I mean, you're setting up a week early, making sure you got the right change. you're booking down to the train station. Make
Well,
sure
when
there's
you're walking around with a player card, they don't just hand those out, right? So,
you got to go down and check the train schedule. So I mean, but the coins actually got squished though,
oh yeah,
right?
they get squished. Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
I thought you were like, I thought you were going to tell me like you faked because when I was a kid, me and one of my friends used to play around the train tracks like idiots. Um, and if you put a coin on a track, it rattles off before the train gets there.
Well, there's a secret. You have to lick the back of it.
Well, we got cheap penny gum from the store and would stick it with gum on the tracks.
That's how you derail them right there. That's
Yeah.
terrorism.
Yeah, because there's 42-ton trains.
I thought you were going to tell me you were concerned about the defamation of U.S. currency.
U.S. currency, yeah.
And the Secret Service would be waiting at the end of the park going, it's 2 nickels you've defaced. Anyway,
well,
so
that was the least of our crimes.
That usually was a handhold and
Oh.
a nice kiss-a-rooney. And then we'd head over to the ice cream shop to East India to get some ice cream. And then maybe if things were working my way, we could walk back to the park and pick up a bench or something for some stargazing.
So two questions.
Go ahead. And there's a caveat to this story that
we'll finish the caveat and then I'll go with the
I'm
question.
working at Sneaky Feet. Sneaky
Making
Feet
the big bucks.
It is a factory outlet store. Some may remember in Orlando. And it was called Sneaky Feet because we sold sneakers. And I've got this gal that I've got interested, and we're going to go on a date. So we go on a date, and she's kind of boisterous and telling people and stuff. And so she gets back to the shop, and I'm kind of feeling bold and proud.
Yeah.
And she starts to brag about, hey, Dave and I went out the other night and had a grand old time, and just what a sweet guy he is, and had ice cream. We just had a super time. And so this one girl who was let's just say disgruntled fellow employee who I had also dated. She goes, "Oh, that sounds so cool, but did he take you down to the train station for the coin trick?" And I looked at her and I'm like, "Shut up. What are you doing here?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, he took me to the train station and did this whole thing." And I looked at the girl that I just got back from the date with, and I was like, I guess that trick is over.
Yes.
That would be the last time we did that trick.
Well, that kind of leads to my question is how many flattened nickels did you end up with in your lifetime, Dave?
I had a shoebox that I was working up. No, I don't think I did more than maybe 4.
And my next question, were any nickels given back to you?
Well, I think that one was.
That's what I was thinking.
Could have been summarily returned.
Or subsequently spent at Sneaky Feet.
Yeah, I should have revoked the one who was blabbing about it. I said, "Give me your nickel."
So you weren't giving out like Sneaky Feet coupons to these dates? Hooking them up with good shoe deals or anything like that?
No, that would have been.
So you went all the way. You didn't live near Winter Park, right?
I lived in Orlando South. It wasn't that far. South Bumby Avenue would have been
all right.
15 minutes.
Seemed like a bit of a haul for even from the university. I guess the streets are a little busier.
University a bit long ways. No, it was a straight. I lived on South Bumby, so straight north. You would take Bumby all the way up past the mall, and then kind of curve around the lake. So you were there.
Okay.
15, 20 minutes, but it was, an easy peasy ride. It was worth it. And the destination was part of the shtick.
Yeah. It was a beautiful area. Like you said, something out of like a Hallmark movie, at the time. Yeah. I took the train from there once.
Oh, we've done the train ride from here to Winter Park and spent the night at that hotel that's down there. Several times. My girls, we've taken them down there for a day trip or whatever.
I was going to say, what do you do in Winter Park? There's nothing to do in Winter Park, is there? Except shop at high-end stores.
They used to have an art festival. It was pretty big.
Yeah, that's right.
That you could do. Yeah. And there used to be a jazz festival that was part of.
My next question.
Yeah.
Plus Rollins College is right there. I never even realized it for the longest time.
Yeah, Ruck Collins.
Ruck Collins.
Remember that?
Yes.
So we played them at UCF in the basketball season. They were, I guess, a division.
Any division. They were just in basketball doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
right?
it was part of the Great
Almost
Blue
anybody
League.
can field a team.
And
decent
so
team.
their name was Rollins College, and so all of us at UCF got T-shirts that said Ruck Follins. I'll let you do the math. And I think we used to do the newspaper trick, didn't we? We would hold newspapers up when they would come and announce their team. That was real.
Oh, hide be like we're all reading a newspaper.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, I think I went to a total of one basketball game in my tenure as a student at UCF.
Did you see?
I don't know why. I just didn't go.
Did you go that night to Seinfeld when he came to town?
Yes. Yeah, it was homecoming or something, though, right?
I was hammered. I can barely remember any
That
of it.
was one of the first dates I had with my now wife. Was that. And the funniest part of that whole night.
She was at UCF?
No, this was after I graduated and came back to Orlando.
No, but this was when we were in school together. He performed at the old basketball arena.
I was there with a date. I remember that. So I guess it wasn't my now wife, but
yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed because I was so steamed that night. I could barely remember even being there.
But like I said, you don't remember the brouhaha that started. So there was
part of it.
Well, the deal was they had two opening acts, both of which were like one local rap guy who was a tall, skinny white guy, which didn't really make sense. And then I can't remember the rapper's name that performed before Seinfeld. Well, it's customary that any opening act doesn't go over 45 minutes. So everyone's sitting around, they're like, all right. And maybe a handful of people got up and are dancing in front of the stage. And this guy performs. He gets to 45 minutes. He plays another song. He gets to 50 minutes. And he goes, I'm playing more. Well, everybody starts booing him because they're all there to see Seinfeld, not this guy. And he tells us all the F off.
Yeah, I think I do remember something about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you chimed in at that part.
I might have been up at the front.
Right.
I can remember I had overalls on. That's the only thing I can remember is I don't know where that came from, but I had overalls on.
Oh, man. And he tells us all the F off. Like, that's going to calm everybody down. And then Seinfeld gets on stage. He goes, hey, how about we bring him up one more time? One more time.
Yeah, that would have been 88.
I think it was a homecoming concert.
Yeah, because 89 was the Go-Go Girls or something like that. The
Go-Go's?
I know one year it was the two dudes, not Captain and Tennille, but the two guys.
Air Supply came one year.
Pat Kelly weigh in. Who were they?
He's like, I graduated, fool. I don't know who was there.
They had
I remember Air Supply played one year.
It was the two guys, Dan. He's still on TV. One's got long hair, kind of tall guy, blonde, and the other guy had a little short, black-haired guy. Something and
Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates.
Oh, wow! I didn't know they came one year.
Yeah, Hall and Oates, and then the Go-Go's.
I think I would have gone to the Go-Go's though. So
remember, because the homecoming parade was Walk Like an Egyptian. That's when we had Sig was in the parade,
right? And we did
a whole. Was that the Go-Go's that sang Walk Like an Egyptian?
No, that was.
Yeah, I would have gone to the Go-Go's. What's those girls?
No, it wasn't the Go-Go's.
Alexa, who sang Walk Like an Egyptian?
Walk Like an Egyptian is by the Bangles.
Bangles, yes. They didn't play for us, though.
Yeah, they did. They were.
No way. I would have been all over that concert.
At the Tangerine Bowl.
I would have stayed for that to see the cutie that played for them.
Yeah, no, I was staff down front, security for that night.
Security.
What was I staff for? Something like
what a joke.
I think
Dave Theus after a football game is his security.
I think I did that for George Michael one night, a George Michael concert.
George Michael?
Yeah, I remember standing at the front, and all these chicks are like, "Oh, George Michael," and I'm like, I think
you got the wrong. You screwed me up. You got it's not George Michael.
Who was it? The guy from Wham.
Yeah, I know.
He's dead now.
Yeah, George.
I think that's
Oh,
how we
you
got that.
screwed me up, but now it's
So these, I think Mark Patrick might have been with me that night. That's how we got
that's
that
a
whole.
combination.
That's how we got that whole working for staff. Those security
Oh,
people. We were raising
yes.
money for the fraternity, and
Yes.
all I can remember these girls, and I was like, "Take your top off.
Nice.
Show him the goods."
Oh, he
All right.
wants to see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Nice. That's nice, Dave. Appreciate that.
I think he was gay. All right, this
You think? Ask Alexa who sang for Wham, because now it's driving
no,
me
it's
crazy.
George Michael. Alexa, who sang for Wham?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated.
No.
The singers of Wham were George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley.
George Michael.
Yeah.
All right. It didn't sound right when you said it. So, all right.
And then we had one more performer on campus during homecoming week. It was Joan Jett.
Joan Jett. I was going to say, I remember I got a pic from her that night.
I was thinking it was Linda Ronstadt, but she was in this
Linda
She was
Ronstadt.
in this little trailer up by the cafeteria, I remember.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You also
Joan
witnessed
Jett.
something else that night, I believe.
Me or her?
You.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Might involve someone with it that now is a real estate agent. Anyhow, I can't talk. Remind me after the show. I think you were involved in that. I was not there, so I can't speak to that.
Now I'm fearful.
But before I forget, man, I'm flying solo, man.
You got the ultimate kitchen pass? Is she at
You
mom's
know,
place?
Yeah, she took my two of my kids with them because it's my mother-in-law's 90th birthday.
Wow. So you're in a
Yeah.
very similar situation that I'm in.
What's up?
You have a very similar situation that I do. Mine's 86.
Okay. Well,
And-
unfortunately, mine is now suffering from the onset of Parkinson's. So
Does she live in a home or does she live by
no,
herself?
she's still at home barely. Right. I hope I'm not breaking any news to her when she listens to the show tonight. But they're talking about they're talking about what to do going forward because it is starting to become difficult. My wife's sister takes care of her full time now, but it's limited in what she can do for her and so forth. So
that's challenging.
Yeah, it is. But usually I enjoy this for about a day and a half, being solo at the home. But unfortunately, I've been left with the two dogs. And that is not an easy task when one is an old cranky dog and the other one's a young puppy that likes to chew on everything. You can't leave either of them alone for very long. So they need my constant attention.
Well, now that I'm tasked with, or I'm out of school for the summer, I've been tasked to do a couple. So I got a text the other day that says, "Can you pick up Mom from the airport?"
Oh, you're getting the errand lists because suddenly you have unlimited time.
I have nothing to do.
Right.
So my response was, "But of course, darling, whatever I need to do, you tell me when and where."
So your mother-in-law is lucid and very, very capable. No? Or she's flying by herself?
I'm going to plead the fifth out of respect.
Okay.
No, she's independent. That's how you say it.
All right.
Yeah. Love her dearly.
So you said you picked her up at the airport?
No, that I'm tasked with that. I got to check my calendar, but I don't think I wrote it down.
Well, here, I get it. I don't know if this is just Charlotte, but I am so sick and tired of airports not doing anything to manage the process of pickup and drop off at an airport. It is absolutely insane what goes on at these airports, dropping people off and picking people up. Charlotte, in her infinite wisdom, just spent, I don't know, $400 million upgrading the terminal, the one single terminal they have for the airport with the most flights in the United States right now. I don't know if it's most flights. They're number one in some measure. I don't know if it's people or whatever. So they have the drop off. Why is basically it's 4 lanes wide and somehow you're supposed to make your way over to the curb to drop people off and then all the way back out for a lane. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So why not? We have very smart people in this world. Why not devise something where you pull in a lane and people get out and you just pull forward and go down? You know what I mean? There's very simple ways to organize this traffic into something more productive than
So-
honking at each other.
So we have a yesterday, my daughter Sarah has returned to Pittsburgh.
Oh, she left already.
Yeah,
Had enough
so
of you, huh?
no, it was
Yeah, I
it was
think
an
so.
incredible it was an incredible visit. In fact, Sheila and I both were a little bit remorse this morning. We saw each other. It was like, and as soon as she's here, she's gone. I said, "Are you feeling a little melancholy?" And she goes, "Yeah, I am." I said, "Me too. I think this was a great visit for us." And she's, transitioning out of being a graduate to now heading to her master's degree. What do you call
Right.
that? Her graduate degree. And it was just an overall great visit for all of us. So we were a little bit sad but joyous. That space where you're sad but your kids are growing up and you're happy for them. So
Yeah, and at the same time, for me, there's a bit of stress relief.
yeah, no, we both said now we can get back to not spending so much damn money.
Yes,
she's
yes.
not cheap.
No, none of the kids are, because you want to do things for them
Yeah.
when they're in your presence and that. But as far as the airport goes, you had some thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. So so Sheila, and I think it very much like your wife, handles all the travel arrangements because they got all these deals with airports and airplanes.
Yeah, she does the constant searching and
Yeah.
getting
So
deals. Yeah.
so apparently Sarah took the first flight out of Jacksonville at 5
Oof.
a.m.
Ouch. When you said first
So-
flight, I always know that's a brutal one.
So we
You
had
know
to
what's
leave-
nice about the first flight, though? It's always on time.
Yeah. Well, the idiots were there. So we had to leave the house at 3 because she had to check 2 big bags.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Mm.
Yeah. So I didn't get to bed till 12:30, and I said, "Screw it. We'll make it." So
Right.
we got up and left it. Actually, we left at 2:45 because she remembered she had the bags to check. It was going to take longer, and we get there, and the number of Karens on the first flight. Holy cow! She had
Well, you
already
didn't
checked
go
it.
in, did you?
Oh no! Here's how I resolve your problem. I park. I've
Okay.
just come to the grips that I'm gonna say goodbye. Now TSA, you can't get any further than the gate, so I park. I help her with her luggage. We get inside. We figured out how to check it in. She'd already done the check-in part.
Yeah,
with
you
the
can
seat and the
pre-check
bags.
them and all that stuff. Yeah.
And then I get to walk down to the partition where TSA starts, and we do this little thing where we post on social media that we take pictures of our feet in a handbag or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's just tradition. So, but
You, have
yesterday
your
I
good,
was
you make sure you have your good shoes on, though.
no, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just make sure I got shoes on.
Yeah.
But yesterday was 3 o'clock, and I got back at 5:30. Sheila was just getting up, going to work, and then I was gonna stay up, and I don't know. I got on the computer at 6. And I couldn't handle it. I just crashed till 11. But then I had a meetings at 11 o'clock, so I had to get going. I don't know what I told you that for, but so I have to pick up my mother-in-law at the airport on the 18th. I thought it was Father's Day, but it turns out it's the 18th.
Well, so what went on with the Karens? Why? What were they doing?
I think we've got this generation of people that can't be put out. It's like,
It's not that it can't be. They've been told they're the most important person. From their young.
well, everybody
The
thinks-
millennials have been told their whole life, you are the most important person.
Now, I'm going to tell you something that I don't think I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I haven't flown in 20 years. We did the math while we were waiting in line.
Really?
I have not been on a plane in 20 years. And so once they said we're taking our shoes off, I said, I'm done. I don't want to, if I have to do this, then no, I'm done. So I haven't seen any of the new machines, all that other stuff
Okay.
that goes on.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking over at I'm used to, if you're going to take luggage,
Yeah.
and I said, there's kiosk over there, Sarah. Do you think they're pre-boarding or doing something? And she goes, yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. Because she usually just does carry on.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, the kiosk, you can get your little sticker ticket and wrap it around your luggage. And then you
Yeah.
do the airlines people's work.
Yes.
And then there's a shorter line. All you do is show up and hand her the bag. She weighs it. And
show
moves
your
it on.
ticket and they put it in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I held the place in line. Sarah goes over and starts doing that. And now I'm not technology savvy, but I'm smart enough to realize I think there's something we can avert this line and let's get you to do it. And so she's successful at it. But all these people, I'm turning around looking at it, they're all moms, it seems like. They're just agitated. They're like, oh, there's a line. I can't stand the line. Something's gonna move. Something's gonna move.
Right.
And the energy level that you get from all this stuff going on, I just want to turn around and go, shut up. Shut
It's
up.
the airline's faults. I will say they get so everybody's supercharged about if you miss your flight, if you do this, if you do that, it's going to cost you $100, and everybody gets there. Everybody gets so worked up. If you miss your flight, you're screwed.
Yeah, but
And
I'm telling
so-
Sarah, I said, look, she was starting to get a little antsy. I said, Sarah, it's the first flight. They know you're on it.
They won't hold it.
Well, I said, I don't think they're ready to push back just
No.
yet, but we're going to
No.
make it. We're going to be fine because I'm this
Right.
big. She's got a little anxiety sometimes that cranks up, and I'm always conscious of that. And I'm like, Mr. Chill, it's going to be fine. We're going to get through it. I'm looking at my time and I'm saying, no, we're going to be okay. But these people just drive. It doesn't need to be, but they're all wound up. But here's the cool thing. You know, the chicks that work the counter,
You mean the
airline people.
yeah, not the chicks.
The girls, women, whatever you call them. Anyway, so they're like throwbacks from 1980s. They all got the same hairdo. None of them are working at hyper speed. You know, you could make an argument that, hey, could you speed things up? But
Right.
they're all like, what are they really looking at on this computer? I think I remember seeing some comedians.
There's been a bunch of bits on
that they're playing solitaire or something.
Yeah,
on their
they're still using CRT screens from the 60s and 70s, like they're at NASA launching the first rocket.
Yeah, so I'm looking at them like they're not doing anything. They're just standing there, but they have a pace, like a union slowdown. They got a pace that they keep, but nobody works.
Well, they know better. There's nothing they can do, to really speed things up.
I told Sarah, I said, screw it. If it doesn't make it, we'll ship it to you by UPS. Let's just go to the plane.
I got pre-check recently because I'm tired of the. When I flew down to Orlando for the reunion, I almost missed my flight because I had the first flight in the morning, and I think the flight was 6 a.m. It was a 6 a.m. flight. So I figure, how busy can the airport be at 6 a.m.? Or, when I got there at 4 a.m. Because I thought, I'll get there 2 hours early. I like to get there early, get a cup of coffee, sit down, read, do whatever, do some, emails or whatever. That way I don't have to worry. I show up and the line for TSA is the entire length of the Charlotte terminal.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I said, I got in line. I kept walking and walking and walking. And finally I got to the end and I got in line. I says, is this the line for TSA? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, it moved maybe in an hour's time. I moved 30 feet maybe. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to make my flight. And as I'm sitting there, I guess at 5 a.m., the first major shift of TSA agents come in.
No, the extra load. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as they're walking by us, they're like, hey, we should just tell these people he get here earlier. And so they wouldn't complain. I'm like, well, and I felt like saying, your app that tells you how long the line is, it says it's 10 minutes right now. I've been here an hour. I felt like saying to them, like, maybe that's why people are a little upset. Not me. But anyhow, that shift got in and boom, the floodgates opened. But I was the last set of people boarding the flight. That's how close I was to missing it. But
so Sarah, on that note, your point, I guess apparently she knows what zone that she's loading the plane because she knows.
Right. It says on your boarding pass.
Yeah. So she's telling me, it's okay, Dad, I'm in zone 5. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? She goes, well, it's the children, parents, mothers with children.
Have you seen that bit on
So anyway, so I'm like, so you're like at the back of the plane. She goes, well, no, I'm kind of near the middle of the plane, but I'm not till zone 5. I said, okay. Right. So her anxieties, she's not riddled with it, but she gets
no. Yeah.
So then I like to stand there. The last thing I want to do is leave the airport. I got to go leave. And then she calls me with some problem.
Right.
She can't get on the plane. So I say, we have a deal. I said, look, I'm sticking around. You're going to text me when you make it through TSA and get to your gate. I'll go to the bathroom, make a deposit. And then you tell me when you're at the gate. Yeah. So she gets hung up at the guy because she's got this backpack on her. And she's a professional photographer, so she's got this ginormous lens stuffed in her bag. And he's busting the bag open. He sees it on the radar or whatever that thing is, X-ray, and he wants to go through it. And so I've coached her up enough where she's been around me. I said, look, when you have no control, someone else owns your destiny. That's not the time to get blown up.
Right.
So just be polite, put a smile on your face, you say, hey, no problem. We're here for the good time. And so she said the guy looked at her thinking she was going to blow up, and she said, hey, I understand. Take your time. Just be gentle. It's a pretty expensive camera. It is a camera lens,
Right.
but I understand what you're doing. And he said to her, thank you so much for being as polite as you were. I'm sorry I had to hold you up, but I had to go. And she goes, no, I get it. I understand. And so she's calling me after she passes through. She goes, Dad, it worked like perfect. I mean, he actually sped up and got it
As long
done.
as he didn't open the lens cap and dump out what was
Yeah,
inside.
the heroin. I mean,
Yeah.
who would have known?
She was muling drugs from Jacksonville to Pennsylvania.
No, don't say that stuff.
Oh, like that's a drug route. Yeah. So
Yeah, PA is big on the hash.
so she has a Luculin camera, huh?
A Luculin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Word of the week. Luculin.
Luculin. And you were able to slip this in with the context of a photog?
Yeah.
Alexa, define Luculin.
I don't have an answer for that.
How do you spell it?
Lucullan.
Alexa, define Lucullan.
The adjective lucullen is usually defined as, especially of banquets, parties, etc., marked by lavishness and richness, sumptuous. For more, ask me to give definitions for lucullen.
Lucullan.
Luculin. What did I say? Lucu? Yeah, I
Luculin.
did say. I put a Q sound.
Let's see if
there.
you had
Yeah.
said it properly. I would have
Picked up on it right away.
Still wasn't.
One, it says especially of food, but the definition is extremely luxurious.
Yeah, it was a luxurious camera. But no, I see what you did there. So we had dinner the other night with they're friends, but they're long friends. The gal used to work with my wife, and then she married this fella, and just by happen now you're friends with everybody. And so he was a police officer in Gainesville, and he came up. He shared something. He said, in context, he was talking about this guy. He was telling a story. And hang on, this gets good. And he said, the guy is constantly, he's prattling. He was just prattling along. Prattling. And I know you have warned me severely not to step on your bit and try to, do your
No.
own homework and do your own
Well,
thing.
you did.
Well, hold on. But I said, this would be perfect for Woody. And I would never be a guy to call you and say, you should use this one because you got your own shtick. But the takeaway from this is prattling means to talk in a silly way or like a child for a long time.
I've
about
heard
things
that
that are-
word. That one I've heard, but
I think our whole show could be surmised in prattling.
Yes. You sure I
The-
didn't use that word already?
Times about things that are not important or saying without anything important. That's our show, prattling. We'll just change the name.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Prattling with Dave and Woody.
here's what he did. So he was a police officer over in let's say a college town near me.
Right.
And for a career. And the game they used to play was they would do a word of the day. And so they came up with these crazy words that they would use in dispatch. The deal was
on the radio.
Yeah, they would they would agree to the word, they knew what it was, and they would call he had one of them for a perf was running away, and it was
a perp,
perpetrator.
Not perf.
Perf. It was a box with cut edges in it. Hold on.
We used to play this
hold on a
on
second.
conference calls.
Yeah, hold on. Shit. What is a word for when a perp runs away?
Who are you texting?
Um,
In the middle of the show, you're texting. You're doing show prep.
yeah. It's the best time because I can remember it. Anyway, I can't remember the word. It was hilarious, but it was strange, And so
on the lamb. I don't
No,
know.
it's a big fancy word. But anyway, so I was just taken aback by the fact that there's other idiots besides us who think that's cute, and he used it, and they would do this every day on their shift. He told the story about this big black woman that she couldn't understand it and she couldn't say it a couple times, and so it was a big. I guess you got to break the stress somehow. I don't know.
It's what we did. I did it more for concentration, but I'd give a couple people a list of words with points associated with it, and you had to use them in the conference call. And if you did without someone doing what you always do to me, like, what are you talking about? If you got away with it, like, because so many people go, oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
like
agree 100%.
right. You'd get more points for stuff like that. So I used to keep a tally on,
Was that
and
like
then
a-
I'd throw in a word like underwear or something like that and give it 10 points. I'm like, you squeeze in underwear on a business conference call. Someone once said, so I said BVDs, and he goes, "Dave, so everybody, when you come into Atlanta, don't forget to pack your BVDs." And everybody, the call went in silence
You mean underwear? That would have been funny.
because
that's
they
hilarious.
knew it was like not. They're like, "What did he just say?"
Well, there's this guy on Instagram that kind of does that now.
Oh yeah,
He does a.
he
He's
doesn't.
like,
It's not set up though, is it?
no, it's set up. He's
Oh,
a.
okay.
He depicts himself in a Zoom call, and so he's in this Zoom team meeting, and he's the rogue guy. Everyone else is like, all HR
Right.
geared up, and so like one of them was they were supposed to meet up in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And so he comes on the Zoom call. He's totally disheveled. He's late. And he goes, man, my flight just got here. I'm sorry, I'm late. And they're like, wait a minute. Sally did it. She was there an hour. Where are you? And he's in Washington State. And he's trying to build a company for the flight. It's hilarious.
That's a
Anyway.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean I can't build this flight?
The stuff that we did, my buddy Steve and I, years ago, if we'd only had YouTube or Instagram, we
Well,
would
you
have
would have been arrested
probably.
by now. But speaking of management, we got I
Oh, yeah.
worked out a new deal. I
You
understand.
changed it?
You were on the call.
I was.
Yes.
Is
You don't
this
remember it. Were you sleeping?
Was it a Zoom call or a conference call?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the answer, definitive answer for both. Yeah.
What's the word I always do to you?
Oh, apparently.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's not it. Essentially.
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 No,
All right, just
but
give me the down and dirty. I
all
don't.
right. Well, maybe this is good news for you. Maybe it's not. But they've said they're gonna give you some time off, and they're gonna substitute you with some AI. They're gonna use AI for me to talk with on the broadcast.
Huh. That sounds like a nice way of saying, here's a banker's box.
No, they didn't say every show. So I said, sure. But you don't get paid for those shows. That's the only downside. So it's a cost savings
okay.
measure. Hope you don't mind.
It's okay. I'm not getting paid for the ones I'm here. So I mean, it'll be like,
We're gonna cut your salary in half, Dave.
yeah.
Isn't that that's not a real number, is it? Or is it the other way around? You can't divide by 0, right? Yeah. So
When you multiply by 0, you get.
well, yeah, but I always forget which way gives you an error. I think it's if you divide by 0.
Yeah, let's not get into higher math. Our
Okay.
doctor friend will weigh in and tell us that we're wrong.
Well, no, one of them.
I don't think Pat Kelly does math. I think Dr.
No, not
Dr.
at all.
Steven does.
Right. We'll rely on our scientists to answer those questions.
Yeah. I'm just a finance guy. What do I know?
You had
Okay.
something else today, didn't you?
Well, the Caitlin Clark thing is,
Oh, that's right.
I
Weighing
don't know.
heavily.
well, I'm just kind of,
Have you watched her at all?
I kind of caught the clips when she played at Iowa, right?
Yeah.
That's about all I know about her
Yeah,
career.
that's-
She played at Iowa. And then she got drafted, of course. And then apparently she passed up on a big deal and took a less expensive, a less payout. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
But apparently she's getting mauled on the court by competitors, and her teammates are like leaving her,
High and
being
dry.
horrible to her too.
Yeah, it's not the best image for what could be your Michael Jordan or
Well, I
Dr.
kind of
J.
liken it to Larry Bird.
Well, same level. This is someone who can represent your league.
My understanding, and I don't want to get myself in trouble or us in trouble, but my understanding, there is some bantered around the league and in the blogosphere that this is some racial intent. She's a white girl from the Midwest, and she shoots the lights out, and some of the Black Americans don't appreciate the attention she's getting because she's white. So I don't know. That's not Dave Theus talking.
I think it's I'm not sure because I thought she was getting equally mauled.
Well, I don't think she's getting fellow respect from her teammates. I think they're
right,
like,
or anybody for that
hey,
matter.
get off the bus, get a couple burgers. We'll be here when you get back. I swear. You know, that kind of thing's going on. So
I don't mind rough play, but blind, you know.
Well, Larry Bird, when he came to the league, and it's interesting now in hindsight, he's still alive, obviously, but I've seen a lot of these shows because of YouTube, and there's these interviews that are out there in the blogosphere, and they're interviewing some of the black players that played with him, and they're like, "So what was this guy like?" And they said he was the biggest trash talker.
Yeah.
He was a pain. He was slow. It was all the typical things with white basketball players. He couldn't jump. He couldn't move. He could shoot the lights out. At the end of the day, the dude could shoot, and
Yeah.
he could back it up. So every time he would smart off, he would tell you what he's going to do. He did it. And so, from my understanding, and I was just a young person when Bird was in his prime, but it came down to an intervention one week when I guess he and Magic Johnson, not Magic, but Dr. J. Dr. J was kind of the Michael Jordan of his day. And I don't think Larry Bird and Dr. J got along very well. And it finally came down to a fisticuff on the court. And I don't know that there was a winner per se, but I think as men often do, or boys, whoever it is, you kind of run up to your match, and you kind of look at each other and say, we're going to
not going to end well.
But it's not going to win well for you. It's not going to end well for me. Why don't we just call it even and go our separate ways? And I think that was the outcome that came from that, that piss up.
Right.
But the reality was that what it showed the rest of the league was he's the real deal. Don't screw with him. You're going to have to beat him on the court instead of playing this roughhouse. He's the real deal. Yeah. He shoots the lights out. So I don't know if that's what Caitlin Clark is going to have to do. I don't think she's got the physical prowess that Larry Bird, 6'10", 200, whatever weight he was. He could probably match up fairly closely to some of the other guys. I think she would get mauled if she turned and started a fight with somebody. But here's the whole point of this. I don't want to get into this we're sports talking heads. I just think it's amazing. The WNBA has cried all along that they don't get the proper TV coverage. They're not making any money. Their networks are losing money in the markets that they're in. They're not selling any jerseys. And then this kid shows up and brings market share, brings jersey share, brings everything to the game.
Viewers,
advertisers, the whole deal. And the league doesn't stand up and say, cut this crap out.
Right. Seems, yeah.
Because
seems
if they do, then they're going to be deemed racial, I guess.
I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty obvious. The few clips I've seen of her taking some cheap shots are pretty. You can see the people yell. I mean, just deliberately dropping shoulders into her back and things after the play is over. So,
well, I saw a picture of her on Twitter the other day, and I know this is Twitter and all this good stuff, but it says, "What's different? What do you notice different?" And she's got like black and blue all over her thighs and knees. It looks like she's been playing football with no pads on, So look, the game's tough.
Yeah.
The old adage, if you can't take the heat in the kitchen, get out of the kitchen. I think she has shown she can take the heat.
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
just thinking from a league. It's no longer a sport now; it's a business. And so, if you're crying wolf that my business is suffering because of these elements, and then you bring a solution to the table that solves 90% of those, and you're not willing to go to bat for it, then you get what you get. Screw you.
I mean, we all know rookies get tormented in any league in any sport, for that matter. But yeah,
but you're going to run her off, and they'll get rid of her, and who wins?
Well, she won't last long, right? If you're getting beat up, I mean, it's just like a running back who runs up the middle, right? You get maybe 3 good years out of them, and then they just disappear because
I don't think she deserves any special treatment. I think
No.
she deserves to play fair. That's all.
Yes, I agree with you. So
Anyway, and that was my 2 cents on Caitlin Clark. I wish her success, and I wish success for WNBA. I think it's a viable league, but you're screwing up. You're screwing the goose that lays the golden egg.
what they used to call I can't tell it anymore. That's too politically incorrect. They used to have a name for WNBA night at the arena.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I shouldn't even bring it up.
I do
But
that.
hey, I don't know how far we can go with this subject because it was on my ride home today. But you know how people put up garage sale signs and things of that, homemade signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took a picture of it and I'll put it on the YouTube version. By the way, subscribe. Occasionally I put the email address down below. And occasionally I put our Twitter address up on top. Dave, did you check the email today?
I did.
Did you? How many did we have?
None. I sent you a link. That's how I do it now. I check it to use it to send you the link. There's a lot of Twitter stuff in there, but nothing commented toward us.
Really? It's pretty sad.
I think we have some genuine listeners that are really in it for the entertainment and they don't care about I don't think anyone's listening to us.
The effort of putting.
I think the Martians are like, this is why we're not going back to Earth. These guys.
If that's what it's about.
All right, for sale signs. Pull it together.
Oh, I was choked up, Dave. Sorry. Now, this guy had a sign up and it said V is in victory, T is in Tom, G is in gamma. I don't know. What's the word for G?
Gopher. I don't know.
Gamma. VTG sale this Saturday. And the address is on there. I Googled it. I have no idea what a VTG sale is.
Think Alexis knows?
Ask her. There's a company called VTG that got sold.
Alexa, what is a VTG sale on a garage sale sign?
From geekflare.com. It allows you to carry out your virtual garage sale.
Virtual garage sale. I've seen that before.
He had a street address on there. How the hell would that work?
I think. Yeah, I've heard that before where they don't see this is this new generation.
Yeah.
It's come to this that we can't even have a damn garage sale where people are talking to each other.
Wait till you see the picture to the side. This is virtual high-end stuff, but yet it was written by a 3-year-old with crayons and a piece of on the back of a garbage, not a garbage bag, a grocery bag,
cardboard box.
Yeah,
this is the end. We are
taped to a light post. Yeah,
we are experiencing the end.
Yeah,
you can't even have a damn garage sale person to person. You got to be online with a dumb thing.
Isn't that just called Craigslist?
Lazy
Craigslist? Isn't that what that is? A virtual garage sale. Too bad it's over.
Coming around our house. That's
I guess. I sell things occasionally. We talked about it on here.
Yeah, no, I get that, but this is a whole thing. I mean, this.
Well, I don't understand. I don't want anybody coming to my house to pick up whatever.
What's his address? I'm going to put it out there. We're going.
It's on the picture, but it's over. It was this past weekend, so he didn't. Obviously, it was a virtual sign in the fact that he virtually wasn't going to come back and get it.
Can we put it out on Facebook and go? Listen, is the sale still going on? It's still ridiculous.
Hey, it's just marketing, Dave. You're a marketing guy.
Yeah, I know, but this.
Whatever it takes is
Who was I
make a few
talking to the other
bucks.
day? Talking about we're just eliminating people from the whole. Have you
You
seen
were
the?
telling me you've been ranting about that
Have,
one for.
have you seen where Safeco? I think it's Target and Safeco are getting rid of their self checkout machines. You know why?
Why?
Because of theft.
Well,
No,
I
so I had an interview with I did a meeting with a guy at Walmart. Our Walmart in Flemington was a test site for these things before they rolled them out across the country.
yeah.
And so I said, "Aren't you guys worried about people shoving stuff in their bags and then not running them through the scanner?" Oh yeah, we got it all figured out. We have a percentage breakage that
Yeah.
we're willing to accept, 5, 10%, whatever it is. But as soon as they exceed that, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have to put some stopgaps.
Right.
Well, what the hell did they think they were going to do? So
Why
they're
do people
shoving-
got it? Why just go back to what we were talking about? Why can't everybody just do the right thing?
Well,
Why do we have to steal?
one can for you, one can for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm the kind of guy. I remember I was at Walmart one time, and I swear the bill was much higher than I thought it should be. Right, so I stood at the end of the counter and I'm looking at my receipt and I'm going through it, and she knew what I was doing. And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. I got it all correct. I'm like, okay. I'm going through it, and I realized that she actually didn't charge me for something.
Oh, that is a dilemma.
So I said to her, I said, "Oh, you didn't charge me for this." And she looks at me, and the people online are looking at me, and I said,
What is wrong with this guy?
"Yeah." I said, "Can you ring this up?" And she's like, "Ring what up?" I said, "What you didn't charge me for." And she's like, she was very confused by the whole situation.
Wait a minute, mister. I didn't catch it. And now you want to add it back to your bill?
That you already think is too high? I'm like,
What
yes.
kind of nut are you?
Oh, I cashed remember back in the days of traveler's checks?
Oh, yeah.
I cashed one once, and the girl gave me a 50 instead of a 20. Instead of 5 20s, she gave me 4 20s and a 50. And I got out to the parking lot and I was like, oh, crap. And the hotelier and stuff are with me, and they're like, yeah, man, you got it. I'm like, no. And I went back in and made her give me a 20 for the 50.
So, not to be one-upmanship, but I'm not.
No,
trying to
I
do
think
that.
you are. I think
Yeah,
we
well,
already
okay, I
are.
am. So I'm at Walmart out county when we used to live out in the woods, and it's buy one get one free gallon of milk, and they had buy one get one free gallon of milk. Is I don't know, it's federally subsidized anyway on how they're doing that. But it was buy one get one free gallon of milk and buy one get one free ice cream. And so I'm checking out, and I got a 1 gallon of milk and 1 ice cream. And the lady goes, it's buy one get one free. And I said, yeah, I saw the sign. And I didn't say anything else. And she goes, she stopped. Now people behind me are peering around, looking around me like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And so I said, she goes, it's buy one get one free. Free. You get the other gallon. I said, hey, I can't drink 2 gallons of milk. I don't want the second gallon of milk.
We want you to waste it, Mr. Theus.
And so the lady behind me goes, well, can I have his gallon of milk? And I said, I don't think that's how that works. And then the ice cream comes. She goes, same story. I said, same story on this side. I can't eat the second one.
Have you looked at me?
Yeah. Exactly.
Do I need a second
do
gallon
I need
of
more
ice cream?
dairy? I mean, come on. And I'm praying for shit, that was the line. I can't remember what it is. I'm praying for lactose intolerance. Thanks, Pat Kelly. Where were you?
Jeez.
So they're all looking at me like, this guy's deranged. It's free. You're not taking the free one?
Oh, I always love giving away free stuff whatever for radio stations. People would come up and just maul you to get anything free, and then turn right back around and go, "You got anything better?"
No, that's what my guy in Baker County told me one time. He goes, Dave, you could hand out dollar bills on the corner, and the first thing they would say is, why isn't it $2?
Right.
All right. Well, we've discussed the plight of the
virtual garage sale, I guess, and humanity. But I forgot what time we start, but I'm pretty sure we're getting close to the hour. And
it feels like it. I mean,
I thought you were doing something else. the way you were breathing.
Oh, I was working up a. No, I already did
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
That was a pre-show.
I don't think it's any surprise to you, but since I'm alone tonight, it's dog training night here in the Woody household. There's no family event tonight.
Is this where it gets a little borderline abusive? I mean, is this where you take your
Anger out. I about did
No.
on the puppy. I couldn't get that thing to go to the bathroom in the rain when I got home today. I'm like, would you just go? Just yelling
Are they
at them.
only getting their feet wet, or
They're
I don't know.
dogs.
Is it crate change? Do you crate train your people, your dogs?
She is, yes. She'll be in there tonight, and she can't be left out. The house. You remember those cartoons as a kid, like a termite? Yeah, a termite would get in the house, and the house would be down to rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this dog and a table, essentially. You know,
What kind of dog is it?
it's a mix. It's a mutt, but it's a
Like a pound
German.
puppy?
Yeah, German Shepherd, Husky.
Oh God.
And Dotson, I think, is in there. She did one of those. We bought her a DNA test for Christmas for the dog,
Ugh.
but that's the two main breeds: is a German
Does it
Shepherd
howl?
Husky. No, I was worried it would find its voice when it was young. It really didn't. It doesn't bark too much. Occasionally, she will when she tries to get the old biddy worked up here in the house, get her to play with her, but she just snarls at her. And so she'll get frustrated and then she'll howl and bark at the old dog,
There you go.
just trying to get her riled up. But she doesn't buy into it. She's like, whatever. It's funny I'll take her outside and I'll put the old dog is on an invisible fence, so she can roam wherever she wants. I'm not bothering to do that with this dog because it's not going to live here 24/7. It's moving with my daughter when she moves later in summer. So I put a dog run in, and in the front yard when I'm working in a garage, I have a long rope for her so she can follow me around the yard and stuff
Yeah.
as I'm outside. Well, when when the corgi comes out, she starts jumping over the corgi left and right around in circles, and that rope gets under her feet, and she tears off, and the corgi's like flying up in the air.
Mutt and Jeff.
Oh, it's hilarious out there because they don't fight outside. It's only when they're inside they get all worked up. So what do you got planned tonight?
I haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, yeah, what are you gonna have?
Beans and balls.
You want to elaborate?
So, meatballs and green beans or broccoli, probably.
Oh, I thought you like baked beans and like.
No. So I do this. I got to get this summer. I got to get the 35 pounds I put on from teaching.
You said you were going to get rid of that after the first of the year. At the first.
Yeah, I lied.
Okay.
Now I have no excuse. So I'm trying not to go back on that program I was on because you have to spend additional money for that, but it's very effective. So I'm going to make a conscious decision the first of next week. I've been doing this I've lost some weight, so we're going to see how we do. I got to get under a certain threshold. If I can maintain that, I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
You got to get under 400. Is that what you're shooting for?
4 would be nice.
Okay.
No, I don't weigh 400 pounds. That would be.
You're going to be on that show of My 500-Pound Life.
No,
You
you have to have a forklift to get me out of the house.
It's disgusting.
I don't have anything bad to say against weight challenge people. Let's just call it what it is: fat people.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not 400 pounds. I've never. Well, no, I'm not 400 pounds.
I just wonder at what point where you go, I can't get up to the refrigerator. Do you not take stock?
Yeah, but it's not that, Woody. I talked to my doctor about this some time ago, and she says, it's not fair, Dave, because when we're kids, we have this thing called metabolism when we don't need it because we're running around in circles and never eating. But when we're old, when we could use metabolism, it doesn't fire anymore.
Right.
And so you could literally not eat anything. I mean, I told her, I said, I'm just going to resolve myself to starve. But that sets your body off into a whole nother, defensive mode, saying, oh, he's starving and we got to keep whatever we can in. So there's a mix that goes on, and it involves, it's not totally keto, but it's more protein and vegetables than for me.
No, but
anyway.
I'm saying what point do you go, oh crap, this is too much?
Okay, so for me personally, I think I'd gotten to about 315 pounds a couple years ago. And I said, no, I was turning 60 and I wanted to get down to 255.
60?
Yeah.
Not a few years. You just turned 60.
Well, I know, but a few years ago I said I need to make a decision here.
Oh.
And
Okay.
so I was successful and I got down to 255 and I got to 255 thinking I was going to go lower, but I stayed there for like on this plan. I said, I feel comfortable. I feel good, you know? And so I went off the plan. And I kept it off for a year. And then I started this new teaching gig that I did and screwed it up.
Yeah.
So I was back at 285, 290.
All right. Well,
So
give us
I'm-
an update week over week.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's, this 45-pound weight. It's literally close
Yeah.
to carrying that around. It's not comfortable. And the older you get, it's not healthy. So
Well, each
whatever.
week you can give us how much your weight's gone down and how much your stock market's gone up, or your stock.
Yeah, the stock's doing good.
portfolio.
We'll talk about that some other time, but I put some more money in. So we're up to
Oh,
$3,500
no,
in.
that's cheating.
Well, it's cheating, but I'm
I mean, it's a good way to increase your value of your portfolio. Is
I'm
just put
making
more money in it.
30% return. I'm like, I think I'm gonna put some more money in.
You were down to like 18 there for a little bit.
28 now.
All right. You promised me 40.
Well, we're not done with the year yet.
All right. You want to say goodnight?
I do. I really, 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 really do.
Okay.
All right. Well, Woody, I'm Dave,
I'm Woody.
and you've been listening to, I think, a pretty good show tonight of We Can Help with Dave and Woody. And everybody who enjoys a podcast, share it. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts on Spotify, everywhere else, but I don't know if we're on Apple or not.
I think
But-
some people tell me they've listened to us over there. So
Yeah, we don't care, but or
We're just
tune
about
in
everywhere.
on YouTube under We Can Help with Dave and Woody, and please subscribe, like, and share. Drop us a comment, and that would make Woody feel a lot better. So,
yeah, I have a low self-esteem.
when is your lovely come home?
Tuesday.
All right. Well,
So I
don't
got
do
these
it.
dogs and everything. I'm gonna drink heavy this weekend, Dave.
I think that's your only choice.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fall asleep, and before I know it, half the furniture will be eaten. I'll wake up and
Fire to the house.
sawdust is all over me. And everything
I can
else.
see she comes home. Woody, where are you?
Yeah.
I'm under the
So-
love seat.
Somewhere.
All right. Peace
All right.
out. Love you guys. Happy days.